Greetings to my friends in the Episcopal Diocese of Oklahoma. One of the things that we know about Jesus was his love for children. As he said in the Gospel according to Matthew, "Let the little children come to me, do not stop them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these." And so we know that the love and care for children is at the very heart of our Christian faith. This is a time right now of some anxiety amongst our families as we think about our children and our youth who are among us. This is a time in which our schools have been making very difficult decisions about how to offer learning to our children in the midst of this COVID pandemic. Some of our schools are offering in-person instruction or a hybrid model, and others are entirely virtual as the school year begins. And so we find ourselves in a difficult situation. We know that learning is more effective in person. I think we know that, whether we're parents or educators. We know that virtual learning lays bare some of the inequities in our society. Those with more resources are better able to cope with virtual learning than those who have less. And yet we also know that there's nothing more important than safety. The safety of our children, the safety of our families, the safety of our teachers and administrators and support staff in schools. And so there are no easy answers as our schools and families have been struggling with how to proceed with learning this fall. And there's no one size fits all. Different regions of our diocese and state are different contexts and situations. And so part of why I wanted to record this message today is just to extend my love and my care as a parent to everybody who is struggling with this situation at the moment. My heartfelt prayers are with our families who are figuring out what to do to educate their children and to keep everyone safe. And my heartfelt prayers are also with our schools and our government officials and all those who are involved with this particular question at this time. And so I'd like to urge our congregations across our diocese to, as we always do, look for those who are vulnerable in your neighborhoods. Partner with schools. If you've got a school that's in your area, reach out to that school, partner with them, ask if there are things that you can do to help. Maybe it's a collection of supplies that the school may not be able to afford for safety. Maybe it's helping families who are in a particular financial crunch. Reach out to your schools and your families that are close to you as a congregation. We want to be of practical and pastoral support to all those who are in need at this particular time. In addition to talking a bit about schools and reopening, I wanted to share also some words about our Sunday school and youth programs. We've had a lot of questions as our schools are working through how to reopen, whether or not to reopen, what guidance we could offer in terms of our children and youth programs in the diocese at this unique time in our life. And so we've prepared some new guidelines and suggestions that we are releasing to the diocese that can help you in your own congregations as you think through these particular questions. The bottom line of all of it is to be in sync with your local schools. If your local schools are only offering virtual instruction, then that's something that you're going to want to do as a congregation. If, on the other hand, your local schools are beginning to offer some in-person learning, then it may be possible to offer some children and youth programs in person. But we have some very specific guidelines that we're releasing to try and keep everybody safe. One of the things that we are saying at this time is that we do not want to have nurseries open, so nurseries are to remain closed. But with some very clear precautions, some children and youth ministries may be able to happen in person if that is what's happening with the local schools in your particular area. Now, I want to hasten to add that as with our opening for in-person worship, no congregation is required to offer any kind of in-person program or ministry for your children and youth. I know that most of our congregations are offering some good online instruction and formation already, which ought to continue regardless. But this will allow you to begin to think about what types of programs you may wish to offer safely when and if the schools begin to open for in-person learning in your particular part of our diocese. As with all aspects of our life in our churches, we need to continue to be very vigilant as we look out for the vulnerable among us. We need to wear our masks all of the time. We need to keep that social distancing. We need to be outside as much as we possibly can. We know that outside is much safer than inside. And we need to be disinfecting our hands and our surfaces very, very regularly. We're all in this together, my friends, in this wonderful diocese. We are in this together, and we're going to make it through this together. I'm so proud of all of the good ministry that you have been doing. Let us remember, too, that God will always be with us. God is with us today. God will be with us tomorrow. And God will be with us forever.